All right, welcome back, everybody. I'd like to call up Sharon Barnhorst, Jess Cruz, and Ken Christie. Please come up front. No, you're good, man.
No. Cool. Yeah, come on up. We are very excited. The Kiwanis, Florida Kiwanis Foundation was able to grant our Bradenton Kiwanis Action Club $2,000, and the The $2,000 is for the Florida Action Conference that is this September. It includes things like privileges to the swimming pool. It includes a golf shuttle to and from where all of the hotel rooms are at this wonderful conference. We have 5 Action Club members that are going to be attending. We're very excited about it, and it also includes sponsorships. So this is very nice, especially for Florida Action Club, because there's very little money we find when we go to these particular conferences. So this is going to be a huge help, and I appreciate both Andy, Jess, and also Ken for helping with get the grant. So here's our money. Thanks. All right. Sure. I want to make Jess stand right here, show that we're super excited. Guess what's happening this Friday? Do we know? Special Needs Night at Lecom Park. And what do we have? We have a dunk tank. Who all's in the dunk tank? Let's see. I know there's Mayor Brown. Stand up. Have him. Who else do we have on the list? We have Kevin Von Ostenbridge, George Cruz, Tom Waters from Easter Seals, and Kent Jameson has Scott Farrington. Oh, Scott, you don't know. You're backup. You've made it to the big league. How about that? And Scott Farrington.
You're being called up, Scott.
You're being called up. So again, it's $1 a throw. And then Jess came up with this cool idea. For $20, you get to go up and push the button. So they're guaranteed to go in the tank. And again, it's a fundraiser for our Action Club conference. And the name of the theme is Change the World. So excited about that. So hopefully you guys can join us. We got a lot going on. We're very excited about it. The Pirates/Marauders and Travis have been phenomenal in working with Jess and I. It's been what? We're planning it for like 6 months now? 6 months. Something like that. So, Ken.
I'll be at Decon.
Oh, you will be at Decon. That's true. So I see a $100 bill coming out.
Who's going to be at the event?
Friday night? Oh, I see some hands up.
Are you going to be? All right, here's $100.
Oh my God.
Go push 5 buttons.
Wow, okay.
All right, first donation already.
All right, not bad. We're thinking about if we can take credit cards too. Thanks,
All right,
Andy.
Thanks very much.
All in the name of charity. Right?
All in the name of charity. Thank you so much. We're very, very excited about that event. We also have some members going to district convention this week, as Kim was saying. So if you are going to district convention, we're going to try to put a dinner together on Friday night. See Ken to make sure that you're part of that dinner if you're planning on going. I'd like to call up John Mullis to also come and introduce our guests.
Thank you, Andy. When I call your name, please stand up so we can give you a big Kiwanis welcome. Our first guest is Joan Els, guest of Ellen Ewell. And then we have several guests from the Manatee River Youth Sailing. We have Emily Crody.
Hey, Emily.
John Bueller. Kevin Dooley. And Tom Grubb. Welcome, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, John. All right, well, I'm very, very happy to bring up our speaker today, something that's very dear to my heart. I didn't live in Bradenton when I was younger, but I did participate in a lot of youth sailing and I grew up sailing, and so very excited to have Pat Bustle here today to talk about the local pram fleet going on here. And we also have a special picture that I think Mac wanted to show us of one of our members who participated in the pram fleet, so we can put that up there.
Yeah, so just so you know, Dale Hoffner, everybody know Dale? Yeah. Manatee Fair stuff. Anyway, he was a member of the Pram group back in the 1950s. So he said he couldn't be here today, but he wanted to share this picture. So that's where he was back in the 50s, and that's where he is now.
Thanks very much for coming. Appreciate it, sir.
Thanks for having me today. I'm Pat Bustle. I'm the president of the board for Manatee River Youth Sailing. So we appreciate you inviting us over, and I'd like to talk about a few things that are near and dear to us, which is youth sailing and the changes coming to our program and many of the things that we've done in the past. So as many of you know, Manatee River Youth Sailing is a new name. We changed in June of this year from Manatee River Pram Fleet to Manatee River Youth Sailing. Our intent in that was to stay with the times, and we're excited about the things that are coming on our side of the river. So Manatee River Youth Sailing was founded in the 50s in Manatee County for the youth, to teach them to sail, teach them to be stewards of the environment, and as well sportsmanship throughout the community and their life. We originally were in a Pecky Cypress little shack over at the Bradenton Yacht Club, and then a handful of years ago, we were granted some funds to build a world-class facility on the property at the Bradenton Yacht Club. And that's been really great for us. So we have some awesome things going on our side of the river. We were previously funded by the Bishop Parker Foundation and Mary Parker, and then as well, we have, we have grown quite a bit in the last few years through our new facility. So how things are changing for us. We've changed our name. We've become a 501c3. We now fundraise on our own and look for ways to bring funding in to keep our kids sailing. We have Optimus Sailing, which is the original pram. I forgot to bring our prop up, but maybe Emily can hold it up for you if many of you don't know back here. The majority of our kids sail an Optimus dinghy, which is what was the original pram. You saw in the pictures from the 50s. In 96, the IODA changed the rules and everything became fiberglass, and they started regulating how the boats were built. So they all look like that for the start out of kids in sailing. We have 420 racing and teams. We have a summer camp that this year we grew to almost 100 kids. We have racing for lasers and racing for sunfishes as well, teams. So we also do private lessons and many other things to keep the kids involved year-round at our facility. The intent was to give kids a place to go, a place to hang out, and a place to learn. So when we had the change in our funding, the board became more active and has looked at ways that we can grow. So 2 years ago, I became president of Manatee River Pram Fleet, and the board had changed over and was looking to figure out ways to bring more kids. So we kind of came up with the plan to hire a new sailing director, which Kevin Dooley will come up here in a little while, and I'll let him talk to you. And he's come in and has revamped our programs to expand, also to find outreach in other ways that we have not previously been able to reach into the community and the sailing groups. Primarily, we have, So what we ended up doing is basically throwing away the apple cart and have started over as of last year. We've got an expansion of new boats. We have new coach boats coming, And it's a pretty awesome gig. We've seen a whole new group of kids this summer at our summer camp, kids that have never been through our program in the past. And it's really been a neat thing to watch kids learn to sail, not be inside playing video games, which is one of my things that I really love, and then also to gain the love of sailing through the camaraderie of the summer camp, through the coaching, and getting on the water with different activities. So we have some new programs, new programs and new things coming, which I'm going to let Kevin come up and touch on in just a bit. As well, we're doing private lessons coming up, which will give us a way to advance our sailing programs. I see some of the pictures are flipping through from summer camp. They have that's from Be a Pirate Day that they do in every session. So kind of a neat thing. So how you guys could help us maybe? We're always looking for volunteers for some of our events. Tell community people about us, members, parents. We're obviously looking to touch families that have not been through our program or maybe don't know about us. The community's grown dramatically over the last 50 years, and there's a lot of families that we meet that have never knew we existed. So obviously that's something we're looking to do more than anything. Obviously, we're looking for funding, short-term and long-term, but also we're looking for people to support our mission, help us grow, help us touch new families, teach the youth to sail, and very much just help the community of sailors. One of the things we do is as our kids go through summer camp, that allows them to come into racing and do some of our other programs. But one of the new programs coming forward for Kevin to talk about is that we have the ability to teach sailing all year long, which we've never had before. And that's kind of a neat thing coming. So I'd like to ask Kevin to come up. He can expand further on our programs and tell you more how he works through the youth and their involvement into the sailing programs. Come on up, Kevin. We'll take some questions after if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
All right. I brought my model with me here today. So this is the modern Optimist right here. But like Pat said, Manatee River Youth Sailing is now expanded. Our tradition, our roots are always going to be with this boat. This is the Opti that started it all back in 1947. The pram fleet predates the actual Opti. We had prams of every different design, but a group in Clearwater came up with the Optimist pram, and here it is. Amongst that group of 20 or 30 boats that we started out with back in the 30s, there are now 150,000 Optimists sailing on 6 continents all over the world. So sailing is insanely popular, and it's growing. It's the one fleet that continues to grow with more and more kids every year. So a lot of cool things. Hey, thanks, Pat. I have a few, like an overview on our slideshow that we'll put up here in a second. That kind of shows all of our programs. So part of our mission at Manatee Youth Sailing is sailing for everybody, and sailing for all ages too. So we offer camps and classes for all ages, primarily in the summer, but also now extending into the shoulder season, spring and fall. Sailing is something that isn't just one beginner class that you take and then you put away. Sailing is something that you practice a little bit at a time and progress and get better and better at. So now we have 3 available classes for everybody, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, but also for different age levels. We started 8 to 12 in the prams, but now we have teenagers learning how to sail too in our Sunfish and our Club 420s. Sorry, I have different notes here. Sorry. In the Learn to Sail, we're really looking forward to developing this program into a really good Learn to Sail program. There's plenty of camps that go and do experiential learning. There's plenty of camps out there that, hey, here's a week, you had fun. We want to make sailors for life, and we're going to build sailors for life. So part of our Learn to Sail program is it's kid-centric activities. No one wants to sit in a boring lecture and get lectured on all the parts of the boat and all of that. We've kind of thrown all that out. We use engaging instructors that have full of encouragement and enthusiasm to deliver our product based on kid-centric values. They want to play games, they want to go have fun, and they want to make friends. So we design our curriculum right around that. Everything we do is games-based. That's not to say everyone is going to go compete and go be a racer and race one of these, but everyone's going to get the skills to get out there and go do it and push their limits. We also really stress the social side of things. So making friends is a big part of our program. Dealing with conflict. We always get conflict amongst kids. How do we go about that in a positive professional manner that equips kids for solving conflict in the future? And then obviously an educational-based program too. We're learning how to sail, we're learning about the environment, we're learning about ourselves too. Along the lines of learn to sail, it's important to know that this is completely entry level. We don't assume any knowledge. We don't assume that grandparents and parents had previous time sailing. That's great if they did, but no experience is necessary to join our camps. We can train you from the ground up to be a smart sailor, an independent sailor, or a competitive sailor. A couple other items about our programs is that it's exceptional value for the money. One of these little boats, brand new, will cost you about $7,500, fully equipped to go run the Nationals or the Worlds. We'll give you a boat if you sign up for us. You don't have to buy a boat at all. There's a little equipment to buy, but to get that first step, to give you a boat, to give you the instructor, these kids are set up for success right from the very beginning. So very high value compared to other sports where the equipment is minimal, and you get to have a lot of sailing and a lot of lifetime bang for the buck. When we build up these skills, we found that by going through levels and having a beginner where we're just having fun and making friends, going into intermediate, learning the tips and tricks about the boats and sailing independently, progressing up to the advanced level and learning how to sail fast and work on teamwork and decision making. What we found is that the kids are really enthused to move up a level. Before, if it was just sailing, oh, it's something I did in the summer. Now I get feedback from kids and parents, hey, what do I need to do to move up to level 2? What do I need to do to move up to level 3? What's this race team? Do I have the skills to go do that? And there is this motivation of these kids, hey, I learned a new skill, I learned a new activity, I want to be good at it. And that's what's really blown me away this summer. So 88 sailors in total this summer went through our Learn to Sail through beginner, intermediate, and advanced, mostly beginners. We had about 30% come back from previous seasons and take intermediate and advanced classes, but mostly beginners. That's really exciting. There's going to be a lot of sailors coming forward and developing through our program in the near future. A little bit about the design of our program. So that's like the Learn to Sail side of things. Not everyone's a racer. And what we found out is that there are plenty of kids that want to do the skills, they want to go out, but when it comes down to the time commitment of doing a race team or the time commitment of practicing day in and day out, it's a little steep. So we designed the Adventure Fleet. And this is just on Sunday afternoons for kids that want to go sail at their own pace and have some fun and play with the boats. In a no-pressure, non-competitive environment. So that's something we'll be kicking off this fall with our Adventure Fleet, open to kids that have taken a sailing class with us this summer. In the past, they want to come back. It's really open for everybody. That's a program that we're going to really build our community around. So not everyone's a racer, but everyone's a sailor at heart, and we feel like racers and non-racers, people that just learned how to sail, families of sailors can all come together on Sundays and enjoy the river and sail at their own pace. So that's the idea with our Adventure Fleet program for recreational sailing. And then obviously we have racing programs too. We have a Learn to Race program called Green Fleet. For kids that have taken a class before and maybe they're competitive or maybe their families were competitive in the past, Green Fleet's the place to start. And the venue that we have with a reliable sea breeze coming in the Manatee River every day, boy, I gotta say, this place is one of the best venues I've been to to teach learn to race and to teach learn to sail too, but learn to race especially. We have consistent conditions, it's warm year round, and enthusiastic kids that can learn the ins and outs of racing at a nice, easy pace and build their way up into more advanced programs. Where I come from, I'm from Boston, we sail 8 weeks and we put the boats away and that's it. Here, we have a 10-week summer program followed by a 16-week fall program. And so the opportunity to get on the water and advance and go develop with kids is immense. Also unique to West Florida is the number of Green Fleet programs. Just like back in the 30s and 40s when this Opti was first designed, Manatee River Pram Fleet then was one of the first teams to participate in the League of Competitive Sailing. Well, how cool is that, that league and many of those teams still exist? And these kids still sail against other Green Fleeters from other clubs and get to sail against rookies all in the same league. That's probably the best way to learn how to race that there could be. So what a great environment, a great program, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. You can probably tell how enthusiastic I am. But above everything else, seeing those kids that you saw in all those pictures and all those smiles, whatever the outcome, whether they just want to go learn how to sail to go have fun, learn how to do it with their family and their friends, or go compete and be the best in the country, we have an avenue for them to succeed. So, cool. Thank you all. Pat, you have questions? Did you want to come up? And we'd open up to questions. I'm sure you have some. So.
If you guys have any questions that we can answer, we'd be glad to.
Do they primarily stay in the river, or do you get all the way out the bay, or how far do they go?
It varies. Our beginners will start out in the river, and it's a very big day when they can cross the river in a group on their own and get all the way across. Usually the first step is to a couple sandbars, but then it goes pretty quickly. From there, we get out to the mouth of the river. It's a fun day when you get to see the skyway with your own eyes from your own boat. It's a big sense of accomplishment. We also go up into Terracea Bay quite often too. So we hang the left, go underneath the little Sneed Island Bridge and explore the bay. Lately, the water's been a lot cleaner up there, so we go up there more often than not.
What are the costs for kids to participate?
So it varies based on what they're doing, the racing level, and how much they're traveling. We don't, in our sailing racing programs, we don't require them to go to regattas. That's an extra. So they can obviously expand where they go and how far they travel. But it varies anywhere from about $1,200 plus some equipment to about $1,500 plus equipment per sailor if they're using one of our boats. And then obviously if they expand in their sailing and start using their own boat, the parents have a cost of that.
In our instructional and recreational programs, we give you all the equipment. It varies by the semester, around $600 for an entire fall. We'll give you a boat and all the Sundays you could sail.
When a boat goes over, can they get it back up on their own?
Yes, so we practice that all the time. We practice capsizing all the time. At the beginner level, there's a lot of support and encouragement through that process and learning how to balance yourself and right the boat. And they do it with a partner when they start out. By the end of the beginner class, the first 20 to 30 hours or so, we want them to be able to self-rescue. And so they can take one of these boats, flip it over by themselves and right it, get themselves back into it and bail the water out and sail on. That's a big day for a beginner to be able to self-rescue, and that's a big key on our safety chart for beginners. So all the beginners learn how to do it, and then the intermediates learn how to do it really well.
For the Adventure League on the Sunday, is that, you said for families, so like if I want to come out there with my kids, can I have a boat that way, or is there a way, is there a fee for that, or is there membership, or how does that work?
No membership required. What we do is we limit it to 1 or 2 family members per paid sailor. But the family day, we end all of our summer camps with a day, hey, bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your brother, bring your sister, and show them how much you learned going sailing. Show them how much fun you had on the river. But then also maybe they've been sailors or did the sailing in the past and they wanted to see what it's all about. So we recreated that in Family Sail, and that rotates through once a month. We have a family sail on our dock geared just for families, bring some new kids and get some new blood into our sailing program. Yeah.
Okay. Is there, if these kids decide they want to do this forever, like they want to try to go to college, is there an avenue through this program where they could try to apply, be on a team to go, maybe go to Charleston or some other college and sail competitively in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Before this, my previous career, I was an intercollegiate sailing coach. So before this, I was the head coach at Boston University, and then I coached the offshore sailing team at the Coast Guard Academy. So I know what it takes to move up through the high school ranks and get into college and sail on an intercollegiate team. This is all built with that in mind. And we have the fundamentals that we teach in our beginner class that they'll use, tips and techniques on how to steer and maneuver that boat, that they'll use all the way through their college careers if they decide to go that far. Otherwise, it's just great seamanship and they'll be good sailors anyways. After Champ Fleet, after red, white, and blue, which is the next step up from green, that goes till you're about 15 years old. Most kids will size out of this little boat, but well before they're 15. After that, we move into Sunfish and Club 420s, and that is a new program that will soon be unveiling. I think we'll need another year or so to get going, but we'll have Sail Trek 3, and that'll be a high school program. So high schoolers can learn how to race at Manatee River. There's a whole high school league with competitive races. From there, they move into college, which is a very similar league. So yes, pathways do exist. And not just in the Club 420, they can do other boats too and get recruited to go sail in college.
What age group are you talking about as it relates to what you're doing?
Sure, we're all ages. We start our summer camps at ages 6 and 7 with a special camp called pre-sail. And this is just not so much sailing skills, but getting used to being with a group of kids and going out and having fun and having a safe time on the water. So building confidence and safety factor with our kids being on the water. By the time they're 8 or so, they're good enough to get into one of our little sail cubes, the trainer version of one of these with a friend, and go sail around the river on their own, working their way up through the levels. But we start at 6 and 7 with pre-sail. The bread and butter of our program is ages 8 to 12 to go through the pram and opti classes. They can race this boat till they're 15, but then we have a Sail Trek program as well for 13 to 18-year-olds to develop along the same track. Once they turn 16, if they're really good at this sailing thing, we might recruit them to be a sailing instructor as well, and we can train them up to go past the certification class for that too. So sailing for all ages here at Manatee River.
How many days a week is camp and how many hours?
In the summers, we sail for about 30 hours, and that is 3 hours a day for 10 days, 2 weeks. In the fall, we're a little limited with after school time and daylight, so we sail after school about 3 hours a day. The race teams meet twice a week, and we have instructional sailing on Wednesdays after school as well. Once the time change happens in November, we switch to just Saturdays only until things warm up again.
How much does the 10-week beginner program in the summer cost?
I'll defer to you.
This year, we were $350, but it's going to go to $400 next summer. So it'll be $400 next summer. Any other questions?
I just one other question. Are you guys going to be affiliated with any certain high schools? Are you trying to build high school teams together?
No, not at this current time, but we have the ability to do such. Manatee County Schools has a contract and they sail through Sarasota Youth Sailing. So, but prior to Kevin's arrival, we've not had the ability to support high school teams like we do now. So we've had a lot of changes. As you guys have figured out, we've been very lucky in having Kevin come and work for us at Manatee River Youth Sailing, and it has brought a lot to the table that we were unable to accomplish previously.
Well, that's exciting. So when does that contract run out with?
I'm not sure.
Well, we had Chad was here. He left. So we need to get that done. That'd be great. So thanks very much for coming, guys.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Pat.
All right, as tradition with Bradenton and Kiwanis, we want to present you with our very coveted golden ruler. So if you come over here and get a picture with Lemoyne. So here's your ruler, and here's your ruler, Kevin. Here you go.
All right.
That way you measure the future
Thank you.
success of your program.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Appreciate having you. All right, thanks so much for coming today, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll be back, next week to give you a report on decon. Again, if you want to do dinner with us on Friday night, please see Ken. Otherwise, have a great week. Thanks for. Oh, and also the 16th, be sure to bring your money and be sure to dunk the mayor a couple times. That'd be great. Thanks very much.